Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of these end times. I have some extremely bad news for you today, especially for you, my loyal subscribers. I have come to the very unfortunate conclusion that our newly elected president has snookered all of us, not only you and me in my loyal audience, but all the Democrats and Republicans as well. Mr. Donald Trump is not who he says he is. And I'm going to offer you some very interesting proof of that fact, that he is in fact just another tool of the Illuminati, just like Hillary Clinton. And one of my subscribers, Elijah Penton, has been trying to convince me of that for at least the last 6 months. And I always humored him. I always allowed him to comment on my videos. But I just could not believe it because Hillary and Donald were so completely opposite in their platforms. And I understood that Donald Trump was a flawed candidate. I did not vote for the man. I voted for the message. Now, one of the proofs that Elijah Penton has been giving me that Donald Trump is an Illuminati tool is that he is found in this mural in the Denver International Airport. And we discussed this mural many times before on this program. These were painted by Tanguma, and he not only seems to have prophetic knowledge of the future, but he also includes a lot of sexual imagery. He is not a nice person. His murals did also show the ascendancy of Barack Obama. Remember the murals showing the leopard rising above everyone with 2 cubs. And he also had the word voodoo in his tail. That was not accidental, but it was an amazing prophecy. And we find the same thing here as an amazing prophecy, an image of Donald Trump. And this was painted back in 1994. What's even more amazing, and I don't think Elijah Penton has seen this, is that the girl beside Donald Trump is Melania Trump. And she did not even come to the United States until 1996, 2 years after this mural was painted. And she did not marry Donald Trump until 2005. What is going on here? Is this mural painted through the auspices of Satan? Only he would know these things, unless the Illuminati did indeed plan the rise of Donald and Melania Trump. Now, to prove my point, that this girl beside the boy Donald, and Donald is very obviously shown here. I mean, look at his hairdo. There's no mistaking of that. But let's take a look at this girl in the mural and compare her with a photograph of Melania Trump. The first very noticeable feature are her eyes. They are both almond-shaped, and they tilt slightly upwards at the edges. This is a feature in both the live Melania and the mural Melania. Take a look at that straight nose. That's very obvious. In fact, Tanguma has emphasized the straightness of the nose on the girl next to Donald Trump. Very noticeable also are the high cheekbones on both of these images. In fact, take a look at the shadow on both the photograph of Melania and Miss Melania in the mural. Also take a look at the shape of her mouth. Almost identical. Take a look at that pointed chin, the same on both. And in fact, the outline of both Melania's face, that shape, is almost identical to the outline of the girl next to Donald Trump in the Denver International Airport mural painted by Tanguma. Now, I sincerely hope that you, my subscribers, can convince me that I am wrong. Donald Trump's platform was perfect. Maybe too perfect. And now I want to show you something else about this very strange mural in the Denver International Airport. What is Melania's Hand doing to Donald Trump? Now, I don't want to be too explicit, but that's a very nasty image. Let's take a close-up. Now, please don't tell Anderson Cooper what you and I both see here. It's obvious that Mr. Tanguma knows that there is an intimate relationship between Melania and Donald way back in 1994, even before she came to this country. Did the Illuminati tell Donald, for example, that he had to divorce his second wife, Mural of Naples? A year after he broke up with her, he was introduced to Melania Trump. Is Melania Trump a tool of the Illuminati and also a foreign agent? She is no ordinary person. She speaks 6 languages fluently. That's not the sign of a model. That's the sign of a foreign agent. Was she sent by the Illuminati to the United States, and not just the United States, specifically to New York City, to marry Donald Trump? Obviously, Tanguma knew what was going on. That means the Illuminati knew what was going on. Maybe Donald Trump didn't even know until after Melania arrived here in New York City. Now, as I say, I hope you, my subscribers, can convince me I am wrong. This evidence to me is amazing. It's overwhelming. Mr. Donald Trump is not who we think he is. And I want to add one note. Even though he is the 777 in Bible prophecy, and that is the scarlet beast, as I explained in my last video, I would still have voted for him. I don't believe we could have worked with Hillary, but I think that Donald Trump could be convinced to leave his Illuminati masters. They stabbed their own in the back. Look at poor Hillary Clinton. I'm sure she was promised 8 years ago that she would become president. She is now evidently uncontrollably sad from what I read about it. In fact, I will put Hillary Clinton on suicide watch. Mr. Trump, your life is also ultimately in danger. These people have no loyalty to you. Hillary was the thesis. You are the antithesis. Who do you think is going to be the synthesis? The Illuminati have someone else completely in mind to rule the planet once you are dumped, just as they dumped Hillary. And as always, for you, my regular subscribers, if you want to know more about my ministry here on YouTube, visit my thirdeaglemedia.com website.